they wanted to change it to the county tax director and the county commission. They want the county commission to have the ruling on it. So what, okay,
They just put an or in there, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say is, the township board, if we follow along and we keep moving that language to say township board of supervisors instead of county commission, and township zoning board instead of county zoning board, or county zoning commission, do you see how we can move that language over in the zoning board, or the township board of supervisors would be able to look at the variances?
So one question I had was, your position then is that your existing, or I don't even know what you call them, but the ordinances that you've drafted previously, 2 years ago, they are in effect now, they're lawful, alright? So what was the purpose of the comprehensive plan hearing? And why did you even do that?
To remove any doubt, and it was a more comprehensive plan. When this
And
was,
we do that before.
It was a request by the developer.
it was one of the options, one or two, that they presented. We're trying to, so Steve, so this meeting here today is on these proposed amendments. Open public comment to amendments to sections as listed, the Grandfield Township zoning ordinance, as well as proposed amendments concerning wind energy facilities, citing that would be a new to be numbered section of the zoning ordinance. So, do you have public comment on those sections?
I've got general comments, I guess. One is, do you have a zoning commission?
Yeah, we have a zoning commission,
Who,
the Township Board of Supervisors. If you look in these proposed amendments, we can go through here. 2.2.89. What the original ordinance text was, the zoning commission shall consist of 7 members, one from which must be the city commissioner of New Rockford, must be a city commissioner of New Rockford, and 1 county commissioner. Remaining members shall be appointed by the county commissioners from the county at large. Proposed amendments, and you can see what they wanted to propose. Now, to make that applicable to Grandfield Township, I don't know what anybody else has, but on my sheet that I'm looking to propose amendments to once we close the public hearing to make this applicable, 3 township supervisors. The zoning commission shall consist of 3 township supervisors. North Dakota Century Code says that the township zoning commission shall consist of 3 members unless you have a municipality located within your township. Then you need to appoint 2 from the municipality residing within your township.
So are you sitting as the zoning commission now?
We're sitting as a joint special meeting where it's the same people for both of them.
Okay, so not distinguishing necessarily between,
So right now, the zoning board is hearing public comment on these proposed zoning amendments.
okay,
And we're gonna hear that public comment. We're gonna propose amendments. I mean, if you look at the agenda, then we'll close
and
the
then kind of
public
switch
comment.
hats to
And
the,
then the township zoning board will hold discussion on the proposed amendments and make a recommendation of the proposed amendments to the board of supervisors,
Yeah.
which happens to be in the
Same
township,
people,
the
yeah.
same people.
Got it,
And then Grandfield Township Board of Supervisors may act on adopting, rejecting, or modifying the proposed amendments if applicable.
okay. Okay, and you had referenced we may or may not adopt these, so I guess what happens here today is you're sitting as the commission now and you're gonna make a recommendation to the board, kind of switch hats and then vote on it?
That's the
Is that my
intent.
understanding?
That's the
Okay,
intent.
okay,
And you know what?
thank you.
Well, I mean, is there,
Nope, I'm just,
yeah, that's the intent.
okay,
We're trying, I'm gonna say this, and this is outside the public comment meeting. We've tried to work with the developer. this is one of the two I mean, they said, well, adopt a, comprehensive plan. And to Steve's comment about a comprehensive plan, Wells County doesn't have a comprehensive plan, Valhalla Township doesn't have a comprehensive plan. I don't know if you know that or not, but I'm just letting you know. Nobody has told us that we don't have one, or that it's unsatisfactory.
There's been no communication between the county and the township.
The only individuals that have instilled any, doubt that the comprehensive plan might not be comprehensive enough was, Wells brought it up in a meeting. He says, well, you don't have a comprehensive plan. Well, we got the preamble, and a comprehensive plan is a statement and documented text that lays out the explicit goals and objectives of the zoning. If you go to the start of the zoning, there's statements and documented text that lay that out. And here's what my comment on that would be. And then we are gonna get back on this, and we're gonna keep going so we don't waste Mark's time.
So.
The zoning resides with the township. The township hasn't entered a joint powers agreement, nor have they signed it over to the county. Until somebody rules that the township doesn't have the ability to have zoning, the township is going to continue trying to satisfy the asks. This was an ask. This was gonna be presented, oh, we'll help you with your zoning, we'll help you with your comprehensive plan, and all of these other things, if you give it over to the county. In the discussion that we had, didn't really sound like anybody trusted the county. So, we decided not to enter a joint powers agreement and take this on.
Right.
So, I guess people have asked, you said, well, do you have zoning, do you have a comprehensive plan, whatever? My comment would be, nobody that wears a black robe and bangs a gavel on a desk has told us we don't. And if the county wishes to act on permits that were originally submitted to Grandfield Township, the developer has submitted amendments to Grandfield Township, they've submitted for a conditional use permit to Grandfield Township. They've submitted a permit and application fee to Grandfield Township. We have given them a conditional use permit for a Met Tower. They did not appeal the denial of the permit last December. And now they submit to the county. The county doesn't just get to, they have been acting with the township, and now they've switched, and there's been zero communication from the county to the township. So there's this big issue here, Steve.
Yeah.
But back to
Not
the
hearing
public
it.
comment on the sections.
I think that at the end of the day, the big question is the landowner's rights and what's fair and what's reasonable, what's the right balance.
What section of the public comment on the
I mean,
sections would you like to speak on?
Well, prior to that, I'd like to ask, are any of the supervisors directly impacted by the proposed zoning ordinance, specifically the 3 times turbine height? Are any of you affected by that?
Sure.
So everyone is then.
You wanna
Lee,
say that we're
are you?
conflicted? Am I?
Yeah,
I own 200 acres there and I own 20 acres over there, and I don't believe that there's gonna be towers within 3 times the tip height from my
Alright.
property line.
but Mark is, and Greg, as a non-participant, would have, the 3 times would impact. So we would have to negotiate.
In the words of the county, there is not a permit laying in front of us right now, we are acting on amendments.
But on the variances, assuming you pass this and the permit comes up for the.
Greg would have to declare that there could be a conflict.
I'd have to privately negotiate.
No.
No.
Right?
No,
No,
the developer would. If there's a variance to be had, the developer would come to me and say, are you fine with it? You and I don't negotiate. right? I mean,
Well,
or, I don't know, but.
I mean, these are kind of procedural things.
You
I
should
mean,
know. Ask him, you should know.
I'm not writing the ordinance, this is your.
No,
this
the
is-
You should know.
variance, the
You should know this.
negotiation of the
The
variance,
neighbors'
you should
agreements,
know
We
that
don't
answer.
have variances, like, we have good neighbor agreements, but, I mean, we would have
Which is
to,
nothing
we can
more
only
than
follow the
variance.
rules, that's all we do is we follow the rules, so.
So why didn't you apply
We
to
do.
Eddie
No.
County for a permit for
Uh,
Grandfield Township?
What's that?
So then why did you
Because the
apply?
county told us they hold the zoning, we have to get our permit, we don't get to dictate who, we are told who holds zoning authority, and we have to follow that to get a legal permit. We don't decide you guys do or don't have your zoning authority, that's not
That-
up to us to decide.
And Lucas,
That was on record?
It's-
Okay.
That it's up to us to decide your zoning, we do not have that power,
no, but
so yeah, that can gladly be on record.
I'm gonna keep the meeting
Yeah,
on track. On those, all those numbers that are there, does anybody have public comment on the way the amendments look? And we said at the top, the purpose of these amendments, we would change Eddie County to Grandfield Township. We would change zoning board to Grandfield Township zoning board, or Eddie County zoning commission to Grandfield Township zoning board.
well, I would have one comment, which is, prior to adopting something like this, and as a landowner, you should present the final language, so at least we can review it in the context. I mean, I just got this yesterday, I have no idea. I assume it's all valid because Frederickson drafted it, I think.
Yes,
But
that's not true.
is that the right approach procedurally? You know, these weren't published, these weren't available.
They were available, I sent them to Quinn. Yes, I sent them to Quinn.
Yesterday, yep.
She called me, It was
Yesterday-
advertised in the paper.
yesterday.
she called on whatever day I was in my door,
I
I got
got
home and
yesterday, I'm just saying.
you never called me, Steve.
You're right.
It said in the paper
I don't
that you
know
could
that I
call
should
701-302-0436.
Call someone to see what's being considered and voted on.
Well, I suppose we could open a township office and staff it.
How did Eddie
it,
County
it was
do it?
in,
They
it
got
was in
the
the
Eddie
paper
County
for
auditor.
2 weeks. It was in
What
the
was
county newspaper for 2 weeks, our notice.
It was
and our-
3.
Or 3 weeks, okay.
Well, that's just, for the record, I don't think you can vote on something that's not in text form.
So, tell you what, we will go through, make our proposed changes, and to satisfy your request.
And have a public hearing on that final document.
So let's go through all these ones. We'll talk the proposed changes, then we'll have another hearing with the exact proposed text.
I think
And I will
that's-
personally email the changes to you. Is that satisfactory?
The whole thing, I'd like to see.
All the proposed changes that we're gonna look at, after coming out of today,
Right.
let's get what it's gonna look like. And then we'll act on it again. Is that what you're asking? Yes, that's what you're asking.
It is.
I'm fine with that.
And I'm not conceding that your existing ordinances are valid, I don't think they are. I think they're void,
How?
for the record. You
So
didn't go through the
here,
statutory
Steve.
process.
public comment on amendments to section 2.2, 3.2, 5.1, 6.3, 6.4, 7.1.
Well, I think he was just responding to Mark's question.
But I'm the chairman, and I'm gonna keep us on topic on the public comment to these sections. But we got a limited amount of time, I am sorry. I don't think we wanna get to the end of this and have one of our supervisors step out, so I don't wanna have this off topic. I'm not trying to be rude, I'm trying to make certain that we function as a whole. So, I'm gonna start going through here, it's almost 8:30. So, 2.2.20, the county commission would be amended to say Township Board of Supervisors. Conditional use of a special nature, I'm gonna read the middle column, what the proposed amendment change was. And what we'd be looking at adding or deleting. Conditional use of a special nature is not automatically permitted in a zoning district in which would require review and approval by the remove zoning county commission and change it to township board of supervisors. Permitted uses, those uses, buildings and structures that comply with the provisions or specific zoning districts because of the similarities in nature and relationship to each other. Permitted uses are distinct from conditional uses that are authorized only if certain requirements of these provisions are met and after public hearing and approval by the Township Board of Supervisors. Zoning Commission. The Zoning Commission shall consist of 3 township supervisors. Statement of findings. Upon the public notification and the public hearing, the Township Board of Supervisors shall determine whether the proposed site meets the requirements of these regulations. The Township Board of Supervisors may place conditions for approval of the site. Site approval requirements. All sites for salvage and junkyards require approval by the Township Board of Supervisors. To administer this code, Grandfield Township is hereby vested into 3 offices: the clerk, the Township Zoning Commission, and the Township Board of Supervisors. Conditional use and site approval permits. The county tax director shall issue a conditional use or siting permit upon approval of application of the zoning. Change the tax director to the clerk. And then that kind of continues to the next, and it says commission or county commission subject to provision of 8.2. We would make the same applicable changes. So with that being the end of page 1, anybody have any questions?
So I'll do 2.2.89. Do your current ordinances include reference to the zoning commission?
Yes.
But you say not applicable to Grandfield?
Because it's not applicable to Grandfield because there's no city commission. You know, there's no municipalities within Grandfield Township. So the requirement of 1 person in the city. Do you follow what I'm saying, Steve?
Well, I was just curious if you don't even have reference to zoning commission because you say not applicable. So I'm just wondering your current ordinances, you
It's-
need to delete it or something or.
What's in century code, spelled out, who's the,
That's why we put in there that it's not applicable, is because in century code, it says the zoning commission shall consist of, and it talks about like how many members your county commission has,
Alright,
stuff like that.